Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to watch the Dolphins win on Sunday. Hey, we are here to preview the Week 16 game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins on Christmas Eve. Dak versus Tua, round 1. Who is going to emerge and kill their stigma? Are the Cowboys finally going to beat a good team on the road? Or are the Dolphins finally going to beat a team above 500 and shut up the critics? We'll talk about it. Let's get into it. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Fins up, baby.
Loses the football. Touchdown! Got it!
You have got to be kidding me.
Jalen Waddle has a Dolphin touchdown. And he will score!
Deep upfield, on the near side, man open, touchdown!
The run from Tua Tagovailoa.
Touchdown!
He's going deep. It's going over the touchdown again.
Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. Let's go! What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We are back here for another one on this special midday matinee to break down the game this Sunday. I want to thank y'all for coming through. Smash that like button as you do. Shout out to all of my channel members and my Patreons. Want to give you guys a quick shout out. Thank you for helping the channel grow and continue to move along the way it has. And appreciate all of you who are just loyal watchers, loyal subscribers. All you got to do is smash that like button. Costs you nothing, takes less than 3 seconds. And hey, if you're new here, we'd love to have you along for this playoff ride and stretch we're about to enter. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Appreciate each and every one of you that support the channel. Y'all are amazing. Thank you very much. So, we already got about 100 of you in the room. Do me that favor, smash that like button. And before we get into stuff here, man, listen. Isn't one of the sweet things of facing the Cowboys and beating them watching Skip Bayless squirm? I mean, he's already squirming on national TV about how we're just going to run the ball down their throats, and that's a key to one of my keys to victory today. But spoiler alert. But I'm sorry. Listen, I used to watch Undisputed. 2019, 2020, I used to watch Undisputed pretty religiously. 2021, I started fading off. Same thing with like First Take, and also with that Nick Wright show. I forget what they're called. Nick Wright show when Chris Carter was on it, and then when Chris Carter left, that show just didn't feel the same. But anyways, I digress. I'm gonna tell you this much: I'm gonna be tuning in to Undisputed on Monday when we whoop that ass in Dallas, those Dallas asses. I'm gonna tell you this. And I hope Ernstine, his wife, there is. I hope she's hiding in her room because, sorry, my bad. She's probably going to be filming another one of his videos where he takes a jersey of a Cowboys player. I don't know if you guys have seen this. He does this every time after a big loss. He takes a jersey of a Cowboys player and then goes and throws it out in the trash bin. Yeah, first things first. That's it with Nick Wright. What are we saying here? I mean, what kind of fan regularly throws their team's jersey, let alone player jerseys, into the trash? That's as corny as these people that burn jerseys when a player leaves. That actually might be cornier, because at least those people do it once trying to go viral. This guy's doing it, 6, 7, 8 times a year trying to go viral. I don't know, man. I don't get that. Again, there's people. One thing I will say about getting in this community and getting involved, NFL, Twitter, YouTube, and all this, from our own fan base to others, man, I just don't understand the way people fan. You know what I mean? Some people are just like delusional or ignorant or just far out there. So I don't get it. I really don't get it. You know, I guess the days of sensible fans are over unless you come to my chat, huh? So I appreciate all y'all for coming through. You know, another thing too is interesting thing about Sunday's game versus the Dolphins. This is going to be the franchise's the first time these two franchises have met since September 22nd of 2019. So this is Tua's first shot at the Dallas Cowboys. It's been a while. It has been a while. So, I mean, you know, and I got to say this. I'm seeing Dolphin fans talk about it regularly. Sorry, let me put it that way, on Twitter and stuff. I don't know what's going on. You know, I have no idea what's going on in terms of, you know, why Cowboy fans are flooding Miami. I mean, there are Dolphin fans legitimately worried that this is going to be an away game. So I'll do my part. If you're a Dolphin fan and you're selling your tickets, I mean, listen, I understand you got to sell. I get that. You know, you don't got to tell me. But what I will say is this, man. Do your best. Do your damnedest, if you will, to only sell them to Dolphin fans. All right? Don't give these clowns the one-up. You know what I mean? So, listen. It's, hey, you know, it is what it is. But I understand y'all got to get your paper. But don't put us out. Don't put this fan base out, because there's a lot of fans that they're like, wow, it feels like it's going to be a home game for the Cowboys. And even if there are a lot of Cowboys fans, it's still up to us. Make it loud. The Cowboys versus Dolphins, I went over this on the finish line too. Cowboys versus Dolphins will be the first game in NFL history between two teams with 20-plus combined wins, but one or fewer wins versus teams above 500. The Cowboys are 1-3 versus teams above 500. The Dolphins are 0-3 versus teams above 500. I mean, there's a lot of stigma that on both sides that's trying to be shaken here by both teams. So, Scotty says, unfortunately, I know tons of season ticket holders who sold this game months ago. Yeah, you know what I'm surprised about? This is what I'm shocked about. I guess if it's families, it doesn't shock me. But if it's like individuals, I'm shocked that people are making the trip on Christmas Eve. You know, like that close to Christmas. I mean, I know a lot of people go away, but I'm shocked that people are making that. You know, unless they're families or they're older couples or this thing. I'm just shocked. Like, I'm surprised. Like, that's what's thrown me off the most, I guess. Peter says the curse of Leon Lett is going to show up. Josh Hart says it ain't going to be too bad. It's going to be even with fans. I mean, even ESPN was talking about, this is why it matters a little bit, I guess. ESPN was talking about one of the reasons they were honing in on why, and I got a good article we'll go over here in a little bit, but they were honing in on why Dallas struggles on the road. And one of the points they made was about how, you know, at the line, Dak likes to, you know, make his audibles, make his adjustments, make his alerts, do all that stuff. And they're saying on the road they do it with more of a silent cadence, and they struggle more with those kind of details to their offensive games because of the crowd noise. So, I mean, hey, I posted a video today of Jason Taylor going ahead and ripping down. If you haven't seen it, you know, I'll show you the exact energy we are going to need today. I'll lock you guys down. But, I mean, we're going to need Jason Taylor type of energy. That's what we're going to need this weekend. All right? That's just a fact. All right? And what am I talking about? I'm talking about this. We need Jason Taylor type of energy right there. Follow me on Twitter at @the_real_reason. Look, that's what the type of energy we need. We need Jason Taylor. Go ahead, rip that down, baby. Let them know what time it is. That's the type of energy we need this weekend. That's how we all feeling heading into this game. Let me tell you that. So, anyways. Man, we got some stuff to go over. So let's go ahead. Let's get into it for all of you. Again, smash that like button. Subscribe if you are new. Shout out to all of you in the chat. Let's do a quick chat shout out. It's one of those midday matinees where we're feeling a certain way. Coach AJ says, Merry Christmas, Reason and the Phinside fam. Appreciate you, AJ. Bubba, I emoji. Robert Thompson, what's up, brother? Pro Special, Scotty Joe, 22. Dolphin Man, Jared, Matt Cole, Aladino Moss, JB. Shout out to you. Peter Ganem. Scotty. What's going on, brother? How are you doing? Foxin around. Chris G, Denisha, Regil, Gladwell, Bob Oliver, Larry Lockridge, Pedro. I think I shouted you out, but if not, here's the second time. Denisha, M. Cord, L. Pad, Josh Hart. Who else we got going on here? Chris G, Resolute Graphics, Manuel Martinez, Real Special K, Jeff Stoudemire. Gregory Smith, Knight, Wayne D. Well, how are you going? How are you doing, Wayne D? Appreciate you. Appreciate you too, Gregory Smith. Thank you very much, sir. Marino's Goat, Alex Concepcion, Joe Levesque. You like that, Alex? I had a little flair to the end of that, huh? Merry Christmas to all of you. Happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. Hell, if it's just a vacation time for you, happy vacation. Your boy just watched Christmas Vacation yesterday, the yearly tradition since I was a child. Shout out to Santa Knight gifting a Phinside The NFL membership to LPAD. Look at Santa Knight putting it under the tree for LPAD. Appreciate you, Knight. So, all right, you know what? Let's do this. Let's get into it. We got a lot to go over. All right. Let's start off with the weather report. Now, I don't want this to scare any single one of you. You're going to see there's little raindrops. Well, actually, if you read the update here, it says mostly cloudy with a low around 69, east wind around 14 miles per hour with gusts as high as 20 miles per hour. Slight chance of rain showers. How slight? Like 6%. When you look at the precipitation probability, it's not even a 10%. I mean, they could have just put cloudy, but they're sticking with that 6%. Now the wind gusts are going to be 19 to 20 miles per hour. Looks like they're going to be out of the east. The wind normally without the gusts is going to be about 13 miles per hour. 74, it's going to feel like 74, 73. So it's not going to be bad, but the cloud cover is going to be from 82% all the way down to 77%. Humidity is going to go from 70 to about 74%. Now, again, I don't know why they're stressing the raindrops on this pitch. I don't know, because even they say, again, precipitation probability is like 6%. So I don't know what's going on here, but that's what the deal is. Shout out to Watch Mister. It says, Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas to you, Senor Relojas. Senor. Manuel Martinez says 6% Miami means it ain't raining. And I agree with that. Well, I don't know why but, even the odds, like even the betting books have slight chance of rain off of low precipitation. So, hey, that's what you're expecting. Ain't going to rain. I wouldn't worry about, go ahead. You never know with Florida weather. It could rain for two minutes, torrential, and then be the most beautiful day you've ever seen for the rest of the day. So, I guess y'all naturally pack your poncho as is. Yeah, exactly. Alf says 6% here. It means not a single drop will fall. Exactly. Shout out to Gregory. Oh, look at that. The first super chat. $4.99 chat from Gregory. Appreciate you. The first super chat on this channel from you. Appreciate you. So, again, I don't know why they're fear-mongering the little raindrops when even they say 6%. I don't know. It's like the weather clickbait. It's like what a raindrops a version of Tua in football with clickbait. I don't know. So we'll see how that goes. Now continuing on, let's get into the injury report. Now the injury report has not come out yet, so what you're gonna see is yesterday's injury report. But I'm gonna give you updates from today. So yesterday you had Robert Hunt Jackson did not practice. Raheem Mostert did not practice. Now Robert Hunt's out. I mean, I reported on the Patreon. I set it up here. I confirmed it this week, but I had said a few weeks ago what I was hearing, and it looks like that's lining up. He's going to miss this week. Austin Jackson is going to be out as well. It's trending towards now. That has not been announced. It has not been announced that Austin Jackson is out. Let me. It's trending that way. All right. Like I said on my Patreon update this week, I'm still looking to confirm that. Nothing's been confirmed with Austin Jackson so far, but it is trending that way. All right. Let me be very specific. I'm not confirming. I'm not saying for sure he's out. None of that. But Robert Hunt is out. All right. So now with Tyreek Hill, there's no setbacks today. McDaniel said he's going to be good to go. Like I said all week, they're expecting him to go. McDaniel even said he feels good about him today. So there you go. Now, you know, it's tough, man. It really is tough. Holland, you know, it appears as if he's not going to be going. So, you know, he was only stretching today at practice. Like, we're talking about limited participation. MCL sprain and tune. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely nuts. So, looks like we are going to be out without Holland. We are going to be out with Robert Hunt. We can at least confirm those right now. Austin Jackson trending towards probably not playing. Tyreek Hill back. You know, Liam, listen, everyone knows where I stand with Liam. But I do give him his props for fighting through. You know, he's a better guard this season, I think, than center. But I give him his props for fighting through. And I do think he settled in as the game went on last week. But he still had some rough snaps late in the game. But anyways, I digress. You got to give the guy props, and you got to give him his respect and his flowers for fighting through. You know, the guy's in like a walking boot because of his calf injury. All right? So I'm going to give Eichenberg his props. He's fighting through. He knows how bad we need him, and we can't afford, you know, that we're getting a slim pickings, and he's busting his ass to be out there. So Eichenberg gets a ton of respect from me on that front this year. A ton of respect, showing a warrior mentality. So I'm not going to knock Eichenberg. You know what I mean? Now I think you got some effort issues, but, I mean, other than that, we're good. Devin Achane. He's trending towards going. I know it said he was limited yesterday. Taron Armstead's going to go. You know, now Xavier Howard, he said multiple times this week he's good to go, but that's going to come down to the training staff. But I think he's going to go. All right. Again, a lot of guys, not only is it Christmas Eve, a lot of these guys know what's on the line narrative-wise. Shout out to homie Foxing Around. Foxing Around says, fire the conditioning department because what the F? I mean, you know, let's be honest. We're going to be hoping for a little any given Sunday on Sunday, Foxing, where, you know, is James Woods out there just going to shoot these guys up and get them out there because we need anyone who's close to going. We need them for the stretch. And I agree, though. I mean, this is just, I mean, is it the conditioning staff or is it our luck that we just drafted all these guys who can't stay healthy? HN said he was good to go. Yep, on the Sexy K show, huh? K Adams, as we call around here, Bay Adams. Yep, 110%. Now on the flip side, you saw they didn't have a very long list, but obviously Tyrone Smith and Zach Martin, they're starting left tackle, and they're starting guard. They were the ones that they're the big names on their list to look at, right? And, let's say to keep an eye on, should I say, right? So, now, right guard Zach Martin, he left Sunday's game in Buffalo. He has a quad injury, as you saw on the injury report there. Tyron Smith, the left tackle, suffered a back injury during that game. Now, neither one have practiced this week. And Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys head coach, this morning on the radio, said Zach Martin is ahead of Tyron Smith right now. So they could be out without their blindside protection. Sure, we want them to be down both, but that's big if they're down both. That is big. That opens up this Cowboys offensive line. That opens it up and makes it a little susceptible to a Dolphins front that, like I said, Sealer and Wilkins, salt and pepper, the Oreo package are the best interior combo in the NFL right now. Bradley Chubb is playing career ball right now, right? He's found that all-pro level he had under Vic Fangio. He's found it again. AVG's a David Long's doing his damn thing. Duke Riley's quietly being decent. I like it. I'm telling you this. If Zach Martin and Tyron Smith aren't good to go, they might have some issues. They might have some protection issues on the road. And oh boy, does that ever work into our favor, huh? I'm just saying. So that's your injury report. Let's see how these two teams compare when you stack them up, though. Now, look at this. Not far off. You got the number 1 offense against the number 6 offense. You got the number 1 passing offense against the number 6 passing offense. You got the number 4 rushing attack against the number 12 rushing attack. You got the number 1 scoring offense against the number 2 scoring offense. You got an offensive line that's given up the 3rd least sacks in the NFL. You got an offensive line in Dallas that's given up the 10th least sacks in the NFL. Look at that. You got the number 2 third down offense in the Cowboys going against the number 9 third down offense in Miami. And it don't get much different when we get to defense, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, I want to point out the Miami Dolphins have a top 5 offense and a top 5 defense right now. Thank you very much. All right, let's go. This is how you win championships, baby. Let's go. All right, continuing on here. Dolphins, number 5 in total defense. They allow about 293.4 yards per game. Cowboys are number 6. They're only allowing about 294.3 yards per game. There's literally a 0.9 difference. Passing defense, the Cowboys, they're 4th. 176.9 yards per game allowed, while the Dolphins, they allow about 203.1, which is 10th. Rushing defense, Dolphins, you take that Chargers game out, we're probably number 1. 90.4 yards per game. 4th best in the NFL. Cowboys 19th because they just got lit up by James Cook. They're allowing about 117.4 yards per game. Scoring defense, they're 5th. They're only allowing about 18.9 points per game. We're allowing 21 even, which is 14th. Sacks, Dolphins get after it. 48, second best in the NFL. Cowboys, they have 40, though. That's 11th best, tied for 11th best in the NFL. On third down, they're a little weak. They allow a 38.3 conversion clip, which is 17th. The Dolphins allow 36.8, which is about 11th. Now, defensive takeaways. Cowboys have 21, which is 12th best. The Dolphins, they have 22, which is 9th best. In terms of giveaways, this is where it gets interesting. Dolphins have have given away the ball 20 times, which is 18th. The Cowboys have only given the ball away 12 times, which is tied for 1st. So they protect the ball, man. So, you look at this I mean, like, let's break it down here. You got the number 1 offense in the Dolphins going against the number 6 defense in the Cowboys, but you also, on the flip side, have the number 6 offense going against the number 5 defense with the Cowboys offense against the Dolphins defense. Passing, they're the 6th best passing attack. We're the 10th best passing defense. On the flip side, we have the number 1 passing attack. They have the number 4 pass defense. Remember what we just did to the number 2 passing defense. Sure, we mixed in a hell of a lot of a short game to be an extension of the run and to draw defenders up so we could go over top of them and open the middle of the field. I get that. And plus, that was a way of masking our offensive line to an extent as well. If we did that to the number 2, ain't no way we can't do it again, but to a higher degree against number 6. I'm going to say that. Sorry, number 4, sorry. They're the number 4 pass defense. So, rushing defense, this is where it gets interesting too. Now, again, the Jets, they were not a great run defense, right? By any stretch of the imagination, they weren't a great run defense. Heading into that game with the Jets, they had the 28th run defense, and we only finished with 77 yards. Again, that shows the big impact Tyreek had. Everyone thought it would impact Tua in the passing game, when really it impacted the spacing in the run game. But I digress. Listen, got to find a way to run the football, right? See, what's funny is, check this one out. Everyone will discredit Tua when he beats the Jets when they have the number 2 passing defense, but no one will discredit the run game for only putting up 77 yards against the 28th best run defense in the NFL. How funny is that? Anyways, this is back-to-back weeks now where you're facing a, bottom middle of the pack, right? And got to get it done. Got to get it done. Run the ball. Run the ball. We saw your commitment to it. Don't go away from it. So, and third down offense, we're going to talk about that. They're number 2, the Cowboys, and, Dolphins are number 11, but you're going to be interested. On the road, it's a different story. It's a different story for them. So, listen, and again, we're the number 1 total offense. They've got the number 6. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. We got the number 1 scoring offense. They've got the number 5 scoring defense. So, something's got to give. Something's got to budge here. So, that is what it looks like when you stack the 2 teams up. Now, let's go ahead. Let's dive in. I want to get into my offensive keys, my defensive keys, and the matchup to watch. And I could have gone anywhere with the matchup to watch, but it's going to be obvious because it is obvious for the reasons I'll lay out. But let's hop into it as usual. Let's go ahead. Let's start with the offensive keys to victory for y'all. And starting there, number 1 is you got to slow down Micah Parsons. Really got to slow down their pass rush, but it all starts with Micah Parsons, all right? And you got to slow him down in multiple ways here, all right? With Micah Parsons, they like to use him in coverage, right? They'll use him where they'll drop a defensive lineman in coverage but rush him, or, they'll rush a corner or a safety, move him up into the box, and then they'll drop, Parsons into coverage. All right, obviously you can get after the passer. He's got 89 pressures, 15 QB hits, 60 hurries, and 12.5 sacks this year. Micah Parsons is no joke. And here's why you got to slow him down too. Clearly him and Tyreek have a little bit of a, how should we say it? A little rivalry going on right now. They've been talking and, chirping each other back and forth for months. And with the narratives on the line, Mike is getting out for this game. You know it. So you got to slow down Micah Parsons. You got to. I'm telling you, he's going to be on a mission. And that plays into our offensive line. Hopefully Austin can go. Armstead's good to go. And hopefully that interior can hold up, man. Number 2, you got to run the ball down their throats. James Cook ain't Raheem the Dream or A-Chan for that matter. Mostert's also 34 yards away from 1,000. You can control the clock and the scoreboard. Look at Buffalo kept the Cowboys offense off the field. The time of possession, Buffalo had a 35-minute and 5-second time of possession compared to 24 minutes and 55-second time of possession for the Cowboys. I mean, it's there. That's an 11-minute difference because they ran the ball. Right? James Cook had 179 yards, 25 carries. As a team, they ran it 49 times for 266 yards. They averaged 5.4 yards per carry. Josh Allen only threw the ball. Josh Allen was 7 of 15 for 94 yards. He was awful. But they didn't need him. They controlled the clock. You kept Dak, Lamb, Pollard. You kept their guys off the field. You didn't let him get in a rhythm. You kept him cold. Run the ball. If James Cook can put up 179, Raheem can put up 200. Hell, if that backfield could put up 266, Achane and Moser could put up 300 with Chris Brooks or Jeff Wilson, whoever you want to sprinkle in. Run the ball down their throats. Skip Bayless is quaking in his Jordans on a Friday because he's afraid of how much we're going to run the ball. I'm going to tell you all right now, as a team, I want to see 40 rushes. I'm not even joking. We're going to probably run, 66, maybe 68 plays, somewhere in that range? If that's the case, I want 40 rushes and 25 to 28 throws. Run the ball. Set the tone. You got the backs. Especially if Tyreek, he's going to be back. You got that space coming back. You got that threat coming back. Run the ball. Number 3 for me is challenge their secondary speed. Now, hell, you're going to look at me and say, Reason, you're nuts. You're going to say to me, Reason, you just showed me they're the number 4 pass defense in the NFL. I don't care. I don't care one damn bit. Gilmore isn't who he was 6 years ago. He can't keep up with Tyreek or Waddle. Quinn loves his pre-snap disguises, defensive line shifts to confuse QBs, and rattle the offensive linemen, mixes up man and zone, so there's gonna be space. This guy will show cover 1 man pre-snap, he shift to cover 2 zone, and he'll add unconventional wrinkles like dropping Parsons into deep coverage and dropping a D lineman into coverage and rushing a linebacker. Like, it's just all over the place. But I digress. Their secondary, they aren't what they were. All right? Like, I think Bland's overrated as hell. I think he's overrated as hell. So, he's allowing a 53.9. I mean, he's allowing it. I mean, Bland has a 49.9 passer rating when targeted, but that's because he has like 8 picks. Stephon Gilmore has an 83.2 when he's targeted. But who's keeping up with our speed? Who's keeping up with our speed? I mean, Deron Bland runs a 4.48? That ain't 4.2, 4.3 like Waddle or our boys. We've got like 6 people that run faster than him. We got guys out of the backfield that run faster than him on a wheel. Right? They don't have the speed to match. They might have the savvy veteran like Stephon Gilmore and the ball hawk like Deron Bland to make it look prettier than the situation really should be against us. I don't think, I don't know, man. I don't know. Now, I know Gilmore, he ran a 4.40, but that was in 2012. That was 11 years ago. You really think he's running a 4.40 flat still? Stop right now. Cook them. Cook them. It's there for you. We're too fast. So, give them the need for speed. Slow down Micah Parsons, run the ball down their throats, and challenge their secondary speed. You know, listen, I don't care what Stephon Gilmore was 6 years ago. I don't care how many interceptions Jaron Bland has. Y'all can't keep up with what we got. Let's be honest here. Defensive keys to victories. You got to take away Dak's first read. Why does that matter? Why does that matter? Well, I'm going to show you why that matters. All right? Check this one out. We can talk about two in this too if we have to. But it's quickly flipping to this for you. All right, QB's throwing to the first read. Look at this. Dak to the right. Got to look to the right side here for Dak. Look at Dak. Look at Dak. Only 5 quarterbacks in the NFL throw to their first read more often than Dak. People want to call, we'll get into Tua there because you see where Tua is. Only Deshaun Watson, Desmond Ridder, Tommy DeVito, Daniel Jones, and Sam Howell throw to their first read more than Dak Prescott right now. Look at that. And his EPA, and he makes you pay off of that first read, right? Look at him. He's got the, 5th best EPA per play on his first read? Now look at Tua on the flip side. Don't ever let someone tell you Tua Tagovailoa only throws to his first read, or if you take his first read away. Tua, again, look at right here. Only Kirk Cousins, CJ Stroud, Justin Herbert, Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, and Patrick Mahomes throw to their first read less often than Tua. Only 6 quarterbacks in the NFL throw to their first read less. And Justin Fields is throwing to his first read less. Why? Because he's getting outside the pocket and throwing the football, right? Same thing with Mahomes. He's going to throw to a lot less because he'll get outside the pocket and get off his reads. But look at that. Look at the discrepancy. They're on different sides. Tua Tagovailoa is not a first read merchant. Dak Prescott is a first read merchant. It's right there for you. So take away Dak's first read. That's what they were doing last week. They were taking his first and second read away, and the defense was getting there. We got to do the same. You got to clamp down CeeDee Lamb. That's a given. All right? This is Dak's favorite target. This is security blanket, like Garrett Wilson was to Zach Wilson, like McLaurin was to Sam Howell. Check this one out. In 3 of their 4 road losses, all right, for this season, CeeDee Lamb's been held under 60 yards per game. He had 53 against Buffalo, he had 49 against San Fran, and he had 53 against Arizona. The key clearly is if you're holding this man under 60 yards, they lose. Don't let CeeDee have a day. Shadow him with Ramsey if you have to. You just saw how effective that was. Listen to this. Ramsey is the nearest defender in coverage this year, has allowed 12 completions on 25 attempts, 0 touchdowns, has 3 interceptions, and has allowed a 32 flat passer rating when he's the nearest defender. The numbers are there. If CeeDee's held under 60 yards, they lose. He had like 130 or something plus against Philly when they did lose. But, I mean, it's Philly. He plays them twice a year, right? And you got to take away Dak's first read. I mean, you saw it. Now, minimize third downs. I know. We just went over the team comparisons. And you're going to say, man, they're the number 2 third down offense. How do you do that, Reason? How do you minimize the number 2? Well, check this one out. in Dallas on their 4 road losses this year. They were 9 of 16 against Arizona. But this is where it gets bad. They were 4-11 against San Fran. They were 6 for 15 against Philly. They were 5 for 13 against Buffalo. I mean, you got to get them off the field on third down. You've got to. You got to take advantage of that. Right? You got to. So, listen. I think the keys are pretty obvious here. But, I mean, again, man. Guys, they're 24 of 55 in their road losses on third down. They got 43.6%. Shut them down. Shut them down. Right? And that's like 5% less. I mean, again, they're at about a 48.5% clip. But on the road, they're only about 43%. So that's a 5% dip. And they've had some games where they really struggled, like 4 for 11 against San Fran. That's not good at all. 6 for 15 against Philly. That's rough. So minimize third down conversions. Get off the field. Clamp down CeeDee. Right? In 3 of their 4 road losses, he's been held under 60 yards. That's the security blanket. That's a favorite target. And again, we showed the chart. We showed the chart to all of you. One more time. Again, only 5 quarterbacks in the NFL go to their first read more often than Dak. Take it away. Take it away. And that's why we got to be loud too. If he sees things and he's not able to communicate them, they've struggled on the road because of that as well, as ESPN pointed out. So, for me, heading into this game, who's my matchup to watch? My matchup to watch is this. It's got to be Tua versus Dak. Now, I could have done Tyreek and Waddle against Bland and Gilmore. I could have done CeeDee against Ramsey. That was one I was looking at. Hell, I could have done their defensive front centered around Micah Parsons against our offensive line. But we all know what this narrative is going to come down to at the end of the day. Let's not lie to ourselves. It's going to come down to Tua Tagovailoa over Dak Prescott. It's going to come down to which one kills the narrative for the team. Can Tua lead his team to finally beating a team over 500? Or can Dak shake a little bit of the stigma and beat one of the best road teams in the NFL since November 2021? And can they shake that road stigma? And can they beat only their second team this season with a record above 500? Like, there is a lot. And I mean, hell, when you look deeper into this, I mean, look at Tua right now, right? 71 completion percentage, 3,921 yards, all right? Averaging 280.1 yards per game, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And then go look at, you go look at Dak and what Dak's doing, right? Dak's got, a 68.8 completion percentage, 3,639 yards, right? He's got 28 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. He's got a 104 passer rating. Right? Tua's got a 106 passer rating right now. Tua's got a 59 QBR, right? While Dak, he's got a 72.7 QBR, right? So, man, this is a top tier quarterback matchup right now, and there's weapons galore too, right? You look at Tua, Tyreek, Waddle, Mostert, Achane, Barrios when he needs to be. Then you look at Dak, right? Tony Pollard out of the backfield. Doolittle is actually decent and can do stuff out of the backfield for them as well. And then you look at the receivers they got. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup. There's going to be weapons on display. There's going to be weapons on display. That's why I think it might be a little bit of a light show. That's why I'm thinking this might be a little bit of a game. And, man, this is a tough one for me. I'm going to take the Dolphins 33-30. We'll take the Dolphins 33-30. That's where I'm going. All right? 33-30. It's gonna be an interesting one, and like I know I see the question: who covers Ferguson? Deshaun Elliott, baby. Deshaun Elliott. I think that'll also be a joint effort. You know what I mean? I think you'll have not ideal, but linebackers in coverage too. But Deshaun got to lock that down. Deshaun's back this week. Got to lock that down. Jake Ferguson's good. Jake Ferguson can make some noise, especially in that red zone. 110%. Got to lock him down. Got to lock him down. There ain't no doubt about that. Ain't no doubt about that. And I got to show this. Did you guys see this? Did you guys? Come on. Look at the Dallas Cowboys. Are these guys for real? First of all, they picked a Bradley Chubb picture from when he was with Denver. But you got these clowns out here, okay? Like straight clowns. Look at this. Look at this. Going through their machines with, like, what are you saying right here? Look at these clowns. Josh Hart says they did that against the Bills too and they got smoked. I mean, what are we doing here? You think it's going to be that easy to run through Van Ginkel? And look at, they even got them on the back behind them. Look at this. Like, what clowns? Like, what does this do? Like, I don't understand what's the meaning of this? You're going to run harder? Like, this is why people call you the cowgirls, because you do this kind of stuff. Don't worry. I'm sure this got back to Chubb and AVG and the boys. And they're looking at this, and you're thinking those little scrawny pads, you think those are those are the resistance we are going to cause? Wait till you see. Wait till you see. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, diving further into how these two QBs match up a little bit too. Look at this. EPA per pass when blitzed and EPA when not blitzed. All right? Tua Tagovailoa, he has the second highest EPA in the NFL when blitzed. Only Purdy has a higher one. Now, in terms of, Dak Prescott is 5th in the EPA per pass when blitzed. Now, when not blitzed, Dak Prescott is number 3 in the NFL, and Tua is number 4 in the NFL when not blitzed. So these guys can make you pay whether you blitz them or you don't blitz them. Again, it's going to come away to, for us, you want to disrupt the middle of that pocket, throw off the timing and the rhythm. For Dak, you want to disrupt him, make him feel uncomfortable, but you also want to take away CeeDee, and he's a first read merchant. We showed the chart. You want to take away that first read. That's what Dallas did. That's what Dallas had done to them last week. Those first and second reads were locked down on Dak. And, I mean, people act like Tua's the only one that suffers from that. The basic fundamentals of football. For defense, you want to take away the first read. For offense, you want that first read to be open. So, I found this interesting article here from Dallas Magazine, and it was from a couple days ago. I thought it was interesting. Why do the Cowboys look so bad on the road? So, the Cowboys might be the most bizarre Super Bowl contender we've seen in recent memory. They put together 4 wins in which they beat their opponent by at least 30 points, and yet they also lost by at least 3 touchdowns on 2 occasions, including on Sunday against the Buffalo Bills. Their recent 5-game winning streak gave hope that the temperamental and unpredictable nature of this team might finally be disappearing, but a 31-10 drubbing by the Bills sucked the wind out of that hope. And indeed, the fact that this game came in Buffalo does seem to point to an underlying theme of this odd season, because Dallas simply has not been the same team at home that it has been on the road, and it's starting to look like much more than your standard home field advantage. The thing that has been following the Cowboys around all season is best boiled down into 2 numbers that you need to know, and WFAA broadcaster Mike Leslie sums it up perfectly here. Dallas Cowboys point differential at home, they're plus 171 points. On the road, -4. The Cowboys are undefeated in AT&T Stadium, outscoring their opponents by a score of 40-15 on average. It's a truly outstanding sight to behold. 40 points per game over 7 games is something we haven't seen since 2011, when New Orleans and the Green Bay Packers averaged 41 and 40 points per home game, respectively. But neither those Saints nor those Packers had a defense that held down inside of the bargain, as well as this Cowboys team. Put the numbers together, and the 25-point average margin of victory is the largest we've seen since the 1990 Rams beat down visitors in Trans World Dome by an average of almost 26 points per game. The difference between these Cowboys and the greatest show on turf, however, is that those Rams also got it done on the road, winning by double digits on average in their away games. Dallas, meanwhile, has a winning percentage under 500 and holds negative point differential in road games. So why? The first thing one might look for when assessing home and road splits like this is the quality of the opponent. The Cowboys don't have a clear-cut case of a more difficult home schedule. Teams visiting AT&T this year carry an average of a .457 win percentage, while teams the Cowboys have traveled to face carrying an average of 4.62 win percentage. However, the Cowboys' home and road opponents differ significantly in the manner in which they have won games. At home, Dallas has faced the 4th easiest schedule of opposing offenses when measured by EPA per player success rate and around average opposing defenses. On the road, Dallas has faced around average opposing offenses, but the 3rd easiest schedule of opposing defenses. The Bills are only 2nd opponent the Cowboys have faced on the road that has an above-average defense as measured by EPA per play allowed. San Francisco was the other, and they got destroyed. Essentially, the failures of both the offense and the defense in road games is not merely a function of the opponents they face. The next step is looking at the production of the Cowboys in home games versus road games is to break it down into offensive and defensive components. This is where we find a significant change in production depending on the venue. So look at this. Look at their EPA per play at home right there, right? You see that. Look at it. Not good. Not good. Away. You see what they are away, right? At home, us and them are the best EPA per at home. Look at this. Look at this. That's not ideal. Look at how good they are. Like, even, man, we're like struggling on the road too when you look at EPA per play. At home, Dallas features the 2nd most efficient offense in the NFL, behind only the 49ers. The defense at home ranks 3rd in the NFL in terms of EPA per play, behind the Dolphins and the Browns. On the road, the offense takes quite a hit, but so do most offenses. The offense is less productive, but still just inside the top 10 in the NFL. The defense, however, goes from being the 3rd best in the NFL to a below-average unit, ranked 19th in EPA per play allowed. The difference between a defensive EPA per play allowed on the road compared to at home is the 5th largest in the league, with only the Dolphins, the Browns, the Raiders, and the Giants having a larger disparity. Digging deeper, one might wonder if the struggles on the road come down to more the pass defense or the run defense, and you might have guessed after watching the disaster in Buffalo, the run defense takes a bigger hit in road games. So, you see this, right? Look at, again, the Dolphins and the Cowboys, the 2 best rush defenses at home, right? We are the 2 best rush defenses at home. That's not good for them, but you see right there, making the point. The thing about run defense is that there are instances where the Cowboys have been extremely successful, as they were middle of the pack in terms of EPA per play allowed on the ground this season, A rather confounding stat on the surface given the glaring holes that have been exposed at times, but much of it comes down to the tale of two Cowboys, the home versus the road split. The Cowboys go from allowing 3.4 yards per carry at home, third best in the NFL, to allowing 4.7 yards per carry on the road, which is 26th best. And it's not just the road blowouts that are affecting this. Both the Panthers, whom the Cowboys beat, and the Cardinals average 5.1 yards per carry from the running backs, and that came in entirely different game scripts. The run defense just gets really homesick. Offensively, the most glaring difference between the home and road versions of the Cowboys comes on the passing side. Look at this. Right? They're just better passing team at home. You can see it right there. While the Dolphins are over here. We're really good on the road. We're decent at home too, right? Well, you know, I guess I would say we're okay on the road, but we're better at home, clearly. Because, I mean, you do the math on the EPA per play. What? You know, you can see right there. So, while the rushing offense is essentially, there's only 7 teams with a higher rushing EPA than the Dolphins right now. While the rushing offense is essentially unchanged, the passing offense has the largest discrepancy in the NFL between its home and road additions. The rushing attack is what kept the team in the top 10 in offensive line efficiency, even on the road. The passing game goes from an absolute buzzsaw at home to thoroughly mediocre on the road. Dak Prescott's yards per attempt dropped from 8.4 at home, 5th in the NFL, to 6.3 on the road, which is 22nd. There's a reason the Cowboys are undefeated at home while sporting a sub-500 record on the road. The biggest drivers behind their poor road performance are the porous run defense and mortal passing offense. They'll need to figure out how to get past these flaws for their 2 remaining road games at Miami and Washington, or the season might end the way too many others have, with another early playoff loss from Dallas. So you see the point differential is not good. They're plus 171 at home, minus 4 on the road. The passing offense just nosedives a little bit, and that run defense is not good on the road. Not good on the road. And all those things play into our defense's hands. All of them. Every single one. Just saying. Just saying. Wow. When you dive into those numbers, it's not good for them. Not good. And then finally, we do it every week. Let's do it again. We go over the composite rankings of the offensive line. So the pass pro, we've fallen a little bit. Remember, we were hovering around 2 or 3. We're now at 6. 6th best in pass pro. The Bucks have gained on us. So we've dropped from 2 to 3 to now 6th over the course of the last 4 weeks in pass pro. Still top 6. I'll take it. And then run blocking. Look at that. Top 10 still. We went from we were sitting at in the early 20s just a couple weeks ago. Then we cracked the top 15. And now we are at 10. So you look at the composite scores from PFF, Sports Info Solutions, and ESPN. The Miami Dolphins are number 6 in pass pro and number 10 in run blocking. But for any of you who've been watching week by week, our pass pro has been dipping. We were hovering around 2 or 3 just a couple weeks ago. So, let's get it, man. I believe this team is going to win this game. This is going to be a huge, huge game for the Dolphins. I can't wait. Shout out to all of you in the chat. Timothy says we need to get at least 2 interceptions. Man, that would be nice remember again, like I said, right? Or like we showed you, as an offense, they're number 1 in giveaways. They've only given away the ball 12 times. Just for comparison, we've given away 20. So, hey, if we get 2 interceptions, hallelujah, okay? Holy night. So, guys, smash that like button. Do me the favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. I'm going to be back on Sunday. Game's at 4:25. Expect me around 4 o'clock. All right? We'll be live reacting. I'm trying to get something in the works for later on Sunday night to give you guys something special when the kids are tucked away, when the wife's, on the pillow, her head alay. You know what I mean? So, and y'all are out here on YouTube looking for content. So, I'll keep you guys posted on that. But do me the favor, smash the like button. Dak versus Tua round 1. Let's get this W. Let's kill these narratives. And hey, we win this weekend, we lock down a playoff spot. And by some miracle, if the Bills lose as well this weekend, we lock down the AFC East as well. So smash that like button on your way out. Subscribe for new. As always, fins up. We had over 300 of you in the chat for this midday matinee. I appreciate all of y'all for coming through. And I will see y'all on the next one. Fins up. Have a fantastic, fantastic Friday. And enjoy getting your Christmas shopping done. Enjoy the time with your family. Hold your loved ones. Love your loved ones as much as you can. And enjoy this time off. Because I know a lot of you are probably getting your vacation now. So take it easy, guys. And I will see y'all on Sunday. Let's get this dub. Fins up, baby.